time, those years. Don't stay in a daze looking for a sign. Start and try. Run across fields of ice, but hidden in starlight. Be well aware of roads we've gone by. Put yesterday's aside, need a future head on. Now trailblazers keep credos in mind. One, stop staying within the lines. Two, we always align. Three, even if we don't get the upper hand, we'll fight for right. Four, never care a rip for hindsight. Five, let us light the night. Six, even when there are wills within, we'll go ahead. Get it pulverized.
Wrapped in biting wind, hearts will never bleed. Frozen and banished out of greed. In their restless dreams, they try so hard to breathe. Pulses flutter and sting within this bleakness. Pain will come with the blade. Pain will wake up the despond and crown in this dormant world somehow. Unsheath the sword not to kill. Unsheath the sword to rend those clouds above the ground. Wake up, it's time to gather now. The only warmth remains in hands clasped so tight. The only fire exists in brave hearts. Seasons that refuse to change over the years will find their way back on track. We made a choice, go fight against your fate. Pain will come with the blade. Pain will wake up the despondent crowd in this dormant world somehow. Unsheath the sword not to kill. Unsheath the sword to rend those clouds above the ground. Wake up, it's time to gather now. We have no way to know where they are headed for. See and that's on the fire, just blaze through the stars. We know it's right over there, something is there. Whatever is arriving, we'll be prepared. We made a choice, go fight against your fate. Pain will come with the blade. Pain will wake up the despondent crowd in this dormant world somehow. Unsheath the sword not to kill. Unsheath the sword to rend those clouds above the ground. Wake up to hear the cheering sound. The way to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it the day to celebrate. I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh, we will see. Come with me, take the journey. We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
Get rid of the press from the rusty time, those years. Don't stay in a daze looking for a sign. Start and try. Run across fields of ice, but hidden in starlight. Be well aware of roads we've gone by. Put yesterday's aside, meet the future head on. Now trailblazers keep credos in mind. One, stop staying within the lines. Two, we always align. Three, even if we don't get the upper hand, we'll fight for right. Four, never care and report hindsight. Five, let us light the night. Six, even when there are wills within, we'll go ahead. Get it pulverized.
Wrapped in biting wind, hearts will never bleed. Frozen and vanished out of greed. In their restless dreams, they try so hard to breathe. Pulses flutter and sting within this bleakness. They will come with the blade. They will wake up to death, bond and crown in this dormant world somehow. Unsheath the sword not to kill. Unsheath the sword to rid those clouds above the ground. Wake up, it's time to gather now. The only warmth remains in hands clasped so tight. The only fire exists The way to celebrate, I'll be waiting till we make it. The day to celebrate, I'll be waiting till we make it. Oh, we will see. Come with me, take the journey. We will see. Come with me, take the journey.
Get rid of the press from the rusty time, those years. Don't stay in a daze looking for a sign. Start and try. Run across fields of ice, but hidden in starlight. Be well aware of roads we've gone by. Put yesterday's aside, meet the future head on. Now trailblazers keep credos in mind. One stop stay.
我这就去叫人，来人，来人！
跑跑跑，就知道跑。
我叫的不是你们。
这家伙就是老大吗？快快快快，让老子来！你们这些小崽子，给我让开！凶神恶鬼，有老子阻你！还不快滚！牛头之鬼，直入性命，继续来去，不得久天，积极熟练。
我还是赶紧写辞呈吧。
切。
打开微信，搜索公众号“星际老男孩 SC Boy”， 这里有每日的直播预告、重要的赛事报道、精彩的视频剪辑、有趣的主播八卦、定期的抽奖福利以及爆笑的节奏和评论。关注 SC Boy 官方公众号，365天每天更新，让你与20万猛男一起更便捷的享受我和黄哥给大家带来的快乐。不要告诉别人哟。
手。
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WTL, the World Team League 2023 Winter Code S Round 8, day number 2. I'm, of course, host Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by the chat, the production, Kuro, of course, and these lovely players as well. We are getting right back into round 8. It's been a couple of days. Day 1 of this round was a couple of days ago, earlier in the week, just to make sure it doesn't clash with the finals of ESL Masters. ESL Masters, the finals is going to be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Be sure to tune in. But for now, we have some World Team League. Up first, Matcherino Esports versus Starlight Twinkle. Ooh, and we have a PvP to kick things off, and this does make sense. ESL Masters Asia is starting up right now, which means I believe Nice is unavailable. Nice is competing against Firefly and another of the PvPs. The PvPs, they don't end, so this is going to be casted via replays. And in the top right hand corner, we have, for Matcherino, Estrella. Oh, let's go. And in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent for Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. Nice. So again, we don't have cams here because I believe these matches were played ahead of time. Again, WTL, they do allow you to play your matches ahead of time if you have conflicting schedules, if you are unavailable. And again, ESL Masters Asia just began, and I believe Nice is going to be competing there as well. The only people that know the results of this outcome, of course, are going to be the players themselves. So we're still here to bear witness to how this PvP does unfold. There's the PvP. Anything can happen. Of course, Estrella, Matcherino, they're coming in as the favorites. But Starlight Twinkle, they are no slouches. And Nice in a PvP, he can make some magic happen. So far, we do have some pretty interesting openers. This is something, I don't want to say it's unique to Estrella. I've seen Skillus do it as well. But Estrella is going for a 2-gate opener, but in his main base, not at the ramp. Meanwhile, shout out to the sponsors, Doyu, Honkai Star, Taido, and Autofull as well. Ooh, love to see it. Big shout out to the sponsors. Again, without them, World Team League would not be possible. So big shout out to the sponsors as we're getting into this. And again, to put emphasis on the opener here, Estrella, it's a bit of a give and take. So as you can see, Estrella, his economy is slightly better because his buildings are so much closer to his mineral line. You can throw down a building, then go back to mining that much faster. Also, your buildings are safe against a proxy. If your opponent was going for a bit of a proxy, a bit of a one-base all-in, then your ramp would be exposed, would be a little bit more compromised. Your production would be compromised as well. So again, just a little bit further back. The downside here is that Estrella is vulnerable to Adepts. Adepts, they can much easier shade into the main base. So Estrella, of course, is aware of that. Is going to have to try to take that into account when he does set up his defenses back at home, as he's sending his first probe out across the map here. Interesting. So second pylon is in the main base. I'm curious as to what the purpose of this probe is, though. It looks like we're just going to be going for some scouting, just checking the edges of the map before we go in and... Oh, okay. We do end up heading towards the center of the map instead and going back here. Okay. We're just scouting. We're just scouting, making sure everything is on the up and up. Likewise, we have our tech of choice. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Estrella. Okay, should be rushing towards Blink. Interesting opener here. Going to be delaying his expansion in favor of Blink. And likewise, we should be seeing something similar out of Nice. We have two or double Stalker openers here all around between our players. Nothing too fancy, just vying for map control. Going for a solid opener overall. We see Nice going to be pushing on forward. Well, he does end up catching a Stalker, actually. Oh my god, that was pretty huge. On top of that, Nice does have a better economy. He does expand and take his natural base faster than his opponent. That's a third gateway, by the way. That is a third gateway on the way for Estrella. He could set himself up for a one base all-in. Oh my. Yep, there we go. Proxy Pylon is thrown down right next to the natural base at the third base location of Nice. With a third gateway, you do have an immense amount of production, especially this early on, especially with Nice investing so much money into a Nexus, whereas Estrella going to be spending that on production and on an army instead. Again, this kind of leads into the Twilight Council opener. It was still possible for Estrella to go into an economic follow-up, so I was still like a little bit on the fence about whether he would just double down and go all in, and I mean, that's what's happening. It is what is happening here as we are just, getting another round of Stalkers. Estrella, he has very limited scouting information, so he's got a shield battery in the mineral line just to make sure he's safe against an Oracle before he moves out, before he does send that across the map here. As Nice is getting ready for the all-in. We have sentries, shield batteries, a decent amount of Stalkers as well. Not too bad. Not a bad setup here from Nice. Is it going to be enough? A lot of this is going to come down to the control. Is going to come down to the force fields as well. Estrella's got a couple of warping locations already. And here we go. Estrella is pushing. We're warping in 3 Stalkers at a time. Estrella, he does have better production than his opponent. And he's about to have Blink. Yeah, we're 10 seconds away. We are going to be able to engage here ahead of time, though. We trade 1 for 1. Going to be trading, just 1 for 1 for now. It looks like Nice, he's losing a little bit too much. Does have the shield batteries, though. Does have a force field available. Oh, sentries are going down. For now, Nice, he's barely holding on. Behind this, he should have a robo on the way. We have a third gateway in production for Nice. That will help with warp-ins. But if his blinks are too good, he dives on top of the army. Forces the overcharge, but he can one-shot workers. The overcharge does nothing. It's barely keeping these Stalkers alive. Now we can two-shot, and it looks like Estrella may just have too much here. Yeah, there's just nothing left for Nice. GG gets called, and Estrella will take game number 1. GG, well played. Nice. He didn't have a bad setup. I do think it was a little bit preemptive for him to push out and attack out in the open like that when he first moved out with his sentries. Also, he wasn't entirely certain if it was a one-base all-in. Otherwise, I feel like we should have seen a defensive robo, which should have been leading into Immortals back at home, or at least a faster third gateway to try to keep up with the production of his opponent. Alas, Nice, he was, again, not entirely aware of what exactly was coming his way. Had a decent setup, don't get me wrong. He had, some shield batteries, he had some sentries as well. But the sheer amount of DPS that Estrella had, didn't matter that he had shield batteries, didn't matter that he had an overcharge. He had enough to one-shot, and shield batteries, they do nothing in that scenario. GG. GG, well played. Very crisp execution out of Estrella. Very nicely done. And now we're getting into game number 2. And what is important is that Estrella hasn't really shown anything here. He just went for a one-base all-in, a build that I'm sure he won't do on Site Delta. Site Delta has a ramp leading into the natural, so one-base all-ins are ill-advised on this map. We could find ourselves in something a little bit different. We could end up going into something like Phoenix Wars. Both players should be going for gate expands. They should be going for economic openers, but it's up to our players. We'll see if that's what we commit to, and we'll see if that's what we head towards. I'm quite curious here. Meanwhile, the pressure is now on Nice. I do believe that Nice, he has beaten Estrella before. He can do it again, but he needs to here and now to fight back for his team. And here we go in the top left-hand corner of Side Delta. We have, from Maturino, Estrella. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner for on Side Delta for Starlight Twinkle, it is Nice. Oh, we're wearing the same jacket. Oh, wait, no. This is my other one. Never mind. My Zerg hoodie is elsewhere in the world. It's not. I've got the Overwatch version. So fun fact, back when Blizzard actually sold merch, What did I get? I got the Zerg hoodie. I got this one, the Overwatch one. I got Heroes of the Storm. I have that one somewhere. And yeah, I think that's it. And it's just the same hoodie, just different logo. I always found it really interesting that Nice has a Zerg hoodie despite being Protoss. It's kind of weird. Not gonna lie, it's a bit odd. Shaking my head. There is a Terran, or there was. They don't sell it anymore, but there was a Terran and Protoss variation. They do exist. And here we go. Is this pre-recorded? No, it is not. The cast is not pre-recorded. This best of 2 specifically is from replays. For now, though, we're getting into our openers. Again, gate expands. Next hire on the way. As I mentioned before, this should be an economic opener. Neither player rush into faster gases, so this is not going to lead into fast stargates. I almost said starport. This isn't going to lead into fast stargates. This shouldn't lead into phoenixes. So yeah, just economic openers all around. Probes are scouting the edges of the map, but alas, there's nothing really being done with them. So there are proxies being set up. We're just easing ourselves into, or towards the mid game. Do love to see it. Do love to see it here. As I said that we weren't really going to be committing to any kind of proxy, but Nice does throw down a proxy Stargate. Let's go. Stargate is thrown down. Now this, again, won't be for any kind of like mid-game play. This is to rush into one, ideally 2 oracles as well, to get some economic damage. So both players are opening up economically, and we're kind of keeping up with each other. But this is a way for Nice to get a lead and get ahead, if it goes unscouted. Meanwhile, we do see Australia going for his own scout across the map. This is also the downside here of these gate expands, is that your wall is a little bit more vulnerable. We do throw down a gateway, and we do get the full wall off. Australia's in the dark. He does see the main base, though. I'm sure noticing that a pylon is missing. Yeah, there we go. There's only one pylon in the natural, so Australia should be aware that something is wrong. Obviously, it could just be a hidden pylon and nothing too major, or it could be a proxy. Australia doesn't know. Oh, forcing a recall. Adept does slip into the main and does confirm the opener. Australia is going for a robo-based opener. Very safe play. And Nice is now aware, of course, his opponent is maybe a little bit paranoid. With a robo opener, you gain access to faster immortals. We mentioned earlier in the previous game how because Nice was lacking an immortal, he was vulnerable to a one-base all-in. And this is what keeps you safe from that. There it is, immortals on the way. So Australia, he is maybe anticipating or a little bit worried and concerned that there is a one-base all-in coming, so he's going to be ready for it. Meanwhile, Oracle dives in, and Australia is not ready for this. A bit of a misread here from Australia, is going to be punished for it. 4 workers go down. Can we get the sentry? Going to go up to 6 worker kills. Very nice damage here, and we have a second Oracle on the way as well. Oh my god, can we get the... Okay, I was like, can we get the shield battery? Second Oracle's on the way. And now the pressure, the onus is on Australia here, as he's still lacking anti-air. Oracle going to be dragging the attention away from that Stalker. You can see Nice take a massive economic lead. Adepts are across the map, but we have a full wall. The Adepts, they do nothing. So with this, Nice is ahead. He has 2 Oracles. They're still alive as well. Bear that in mind. So at any moment, they can join forces. They can dive into a mineral line. Even with a shield battery, these Oracles can one-shot workers. And interesting. So Australia, he went for an Immortal first into a Prism. He's going across the map. We have a massive gateway explosion. 5 gateways on the way. That's going to be, I believe, what, 7 in total? Probes are going down. Australia's going all in. But will he have the economy to sustain an all in? Ay, ay, ay. So many workers are going down across the map. Astray, he's sending everything here. He has to end the game here and now with this army. Now, to be fair, Nice is kind of struggling. He only has a handful of units. He has a wall of shield batteries in production. 3 Stalkers to his name. Oh my god, that's a lot of shield batteries. That's 4 shield batteries on the way, and the Cyber Core is going to go down. Only Zealots can be warped in. Nice in a really rough position. He's rebuilding his Cyber Core behind his mineral line at the natural. Phoenix comes out. I love the Phoenix, by the way. Just adding a bit of DPS here to that Prism, but we're warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. Astray, he would like to warp in more, but again, he has limited economy. But this all-in is getting out of hand. 2 gateways go down. The Immortal gets caught, but can we even deal with it? Can we deal with said Immortal? It's taking a lot of hits, but can we pick it up? We can. We pick it up. We save the Immortal. Not like this. Ay. With that, stasis traps are being thrown down. No, the Immortal gets caught out, and Nice will be losing his first Immortal. He has a second. Adepts shade past the army towards the main base. And Nice, again, he has very limited production available. He's only got 1 gateway up and running. Adepts are going down. Big stasis trap. Oh my god, we can get us of the Immortal. Stray, he's looking. He's watching, Pappy. He was paying attention. This is still very close. Estrella still all in. There we go. The shades. Oh, the stasis trap does complete. Does run out. Adepts shade towards the natural. 8 workers are going down. Just like that, Astray, he ties up the economy. God, losing all those gateways for Nice was brutal. And now he's paying the price for it. He will clean this up eventually. I'd love to see the production tab, but just to see what exactly is going on and whether or not Astray is making workers. It looks like he is. He's probing. Astray, he's done enough damage. He knows he has. And now Astray is taking an economic lead. He has restarted worker production. He recalls back home. The Oracles, no! They get here in time to get shut down. And Estrella, he was just so far behind. He was in such a rough position, but he has brought it all back. Adepts, they get into the main base. Prism does drop, and there we go. We just see the Adepts shading on in, getting additional worker kills. They can shade the hell out of there as well. Nice is lacking blink, so he just can't keep up with the movement here of Estrella. Adepts shade towards the natural, and Nice is being pulled apart. Just cannot keep up. And now suddenly Nice is going to be the one that's all in. The turns are tabling here, and yeah, Nice, his economy is just in shambles at this point. Outside of doing economic damage himself, like, he's gonna have to double down. Charge is on the way, which I think is a good idea. You can see here that he hasn't saturated the gases. He doesn't need them. He's only gonna warp in nothing but zealots. Oh no! But he still needs an economy. Phoenix finally rocks up, and we can deal with this Prism. Again, Nice, who was just frazzled, and now we're sending it. It's gonna be a charge all in with a Dark Shrine follow-up, which I do appreciate. But there should be detection. Again, it was a robo opener from Estrella. He should have an observer. Third base is on the way. A bit of a greedy move here from Estrella. He's just getting further ahead. He just has to solidify himself. Just make sure that he, has detection available and he's able to keep up with everything. Dark Shrine again, pointing out that it is on the way and so far unscattered. Do you have a Prism across the map trying to find some damage here? Trying to find a way in, distracting his opponent? Yeah, it has to be recalled. Now, I'm unaware if there are any observers. If there aren't any observers on the map for Estrella, I know there is one for Nice. I know that Nice has one. If Estrella doesn't, then there is potential for a lot of damage. Observer's on the way. Estrella is making an observer, so he will have detection available. As long as he doesn't lose it, he should be okay. Now, even with detection being available, the observer is slow. There's only one of them, so it's going to take a little bit for it to really keep up with the DT harass. So there's still workers should go down. Like, there should be some economic damage. Oh no! Obviously, the observer does get sniped, which means Nice knows that there's detection. He's at least aware. Second observer is on the way, and it's all or nothing here for Nice. He's down 10 workers. He's down in supply as well. Does recall the main army. DTs, they're waddling, and no, they get spotted. No, they do get spotted by the observer. And Estrella, did he notice? It looks like he hasn't. There we go. Pulls the boys away. Does end up pulling the boys, and yeah, these DTs, they're gonna get a couple of pros, but it's not enough. 5, 6 workers go down, 7 workers even. It's something. Behind this, Nice is going for Glaives. Yep, that tracks. So for those wondering, Glaive Adepts, they do have a place in PvP, but Glaives doesn't scale well into the mid game and into the late game. It's a very all-in upgrade to go for, and that's exactly what Nice is working on. So Glaive Adepts are on the horizon. The way that it works is Glaives, if they dive on top of an army, they can soak a lot of damage. It takes a long time for Immortals and Stalkers to kill them. They don't have an amazing amount of DPS themselves, but they do a great job just soaking damage. But Astray is the first to push. Astray is the first to move out across the map. We have Nice going for some harass here towards the natural base. He's looking for some economic damage. And he's going to find some big stasis trap goes off. The prism does go down. Another oh my god, the stasis trap spotty. Nice, pulling off a miracle here, dealing with so much of this supply. Now he can engage. Good force fields. He does catch a couple of Stalkers. Gonna rotate back around. Astray, of course, up in army supply. He has a fourth on the way. Stasis trap is about to run out. There's no backup trap. We up to 4 Immortals. So Nice, he's got a pretty hefty army here. Like, with these Immortals, he can definitely take a fight with the help of shield batteries and overcharge. Glaives is about to kick in. No Adepts to really take advantage of that, though. Unfortunately. As we do see Nice trying to squeeze out a 4th base as well. I know Nice has charge. Does Nice have Blink? He must, right? I hope so. I think he skipped it for Glaives, if I'm not mistaken. Observer goes down. Means Dark Templar will not be a way out of this. Yeah, we're going to be pushing forward. Oh no, we do blink forward. We're just diving on the army. Immortal's going to be going down. Not a bad trade here for Nice. Not at all. Pretty good stuff. I was concerned that he did skip blink, but no, he does have it. But he is zoned away from his own 4th base. It is going to go down. We're going to try to keep up. We get one more volley. We force the cancel. Behind this Astray, he's got options. He can tech towards Disruptors. Disruptors will be amazing in this position. He could try to skip ahead and go into a Stargate transition as well. I'm curious. As for now, it looks like Archons. Okay, we have Templar Archives finishing up. Archons are on the way, Zealots as well. We invested into Glaives, and Nice hasn't really done much with it. Looks like he may be able to catch a Prism. Up. Up. Never mind. Does get it. He doesn't. It survived the shield battery. Prism does make it out. The Immortals, no, they're exposed as we blink back. We expose the Immortals. They go down one after the other. A massive loss here for Nice. And now Astray snowballing out of control. He catches the Zealots with his Archons. Gets on top of the Stalkers as well. The upgrades are even, but Astray, he has the numbers. Numbers are on his side. GG gets called, and Astraya will take the 2-0. GG. GG, well played. And yeah, really solid series here out of Astraya. Was in the driver's seat, at least in game number 1. And game number 2, Nice did an amazing job early on. Remember, Astraya kind of misread the situation. He lost a lot of workers to the Oracles, but Nice wasn't ready for the counterattack back at home. It was brutal that he lost those 2 gateways. He barely had any production to work with after that. To try to keep up production-wise, there was no... well, the Immortal production was a little bit delayed as well, and he just did lose control of the low ground. Losing the Cybercore was huge, a late backup Cybercore. Yeah, Astraya, really, really well done here, actually. Despite being in a really rough position, despite so much pressure being on him, he fought back. Fought back hard, fought back well. With that, Maturino take a lead in the series, but we'll see if Starlight Twinkle can fight back. Up next, Nightmare versus Cham. El Chamaco, papi, El Chamaco. I believe Cham is going to be playing later on tonight as well in ESL Masters Americas. We may be co-streaming that. I'm still on the fence about whether I want to co-stream Americas tonight, just because sleeping for KSL is preferable. KSL is in what, 12 hours time? Maybe like 14 hours time. And it would be nice to get like a solid 8 hours before KSL, leading into tomorrow's WTL as well. So I will see. We'll see what we do. We'll see how we handle it. For now, though, it is going to be a PvZ up next, followed by Fire versus Wayne in a PvZ. Again, Wayne is the ace player of Starlight Twinkle. He's going to be favored against Fire, but here, Nightmare versus Cham, it's going to be an uphill battle for Cham. He has a lot to overcome. Can he? Of course he can. Of course he can, but he needs to really turn it on here tonight. The other added advantage is that later on tonight in ESL Masters, he has a ZVZ with Scarlet, so doesn't have to hold back in a ZVP, doesn't have to hide anything for Scarlet tonight. So can go full force here against Nightmare. And here we go, the players are getting ready. We're just having a look at their ELOs. Nightmare having a bit of a rougher season here. You see a bit of a downward trend in that ELO, but he's still an amazing player. And he has been looking damn good, especially in the PvPs and the PvTs. Against Zerg, I feel like his PvZ is the matchup that he struggles the most in, but despite that, like, he's still got such a high threshold that you do have to overcome, and it's going to be on Cham to fight back. Again, he's had a rough season as well, a rougher season even. But we're just loading on into game number 1. And spawning in the top right-hand corner for Matcherino Esports, it is Nightmare. And in the bottom left, we have for Starlight Twinkle, it is Cham. Aha. Let's go. And this best of 2 will not be played by replays. I mean, I did see some people asking about it before, about it like being pre-recorded or something. Again, the first best of 2 was via replays because Nice is also competing in ESL Masters. This best of 2 though is being played live because we have our cams, we have our webcams. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Also, predictions are about to close. If you're in the chats, predictions, Papi, predictions. Not too much time before they are going to be shut down. So do place your bets. Again, so far the openers are looking quite standard. Getting into this though, Nightmare, he's a very aggressive Protoss. So both players are. Both players are very aggressive. Both players, I feel like they thrive in the mid game. I would say that Cham is a little bit cheesier than Nightmare. Cham, he's more willing to cut workers early on and to just send it. Nightmare, he has more refined builds where he can really thrive in the mid game, going for, you know, Twilight Council openers, DTs, Glaive Adepts, going for 3 base Glaive Adepts as well. Nightmare can be very in your face and very difficult to keep up with. So we'll see if Cham can dictate the pace of the game, or again, even try to keep up with what Nightmare has to offer. We will see. In the chat, is Cham cheesier than Demi? It depends. It depends. Maybe not. Maybe not. Kappa, Papi, Kappa. Demi, at least once in a best of 3, is gonna like 19 drone Ling flood you. That's in ZVP. 100%. 100% of the time. Always, Papi, always. I don't know if Cham is one to do that. For now, though, we're just gonna be droning, saturating our bases, getting our natural up and running. True. Kappa, Kappa. Aye, aye, aye. But I hope everyone in the chat's enjoying themselves. Hope you're all enjoying here. And hopefully we get a back and forth as well. I want a back and forth series. I want us to even go to the ace match. We don't get them too often. An ace match is always welcome here in WTL. For now, Stargate opener out of Nightmare. He, of course, does check saturation at the natural, just to make sure that we're droning, which I think is a wise choice against Cham. You need to make sure that everything is on the up and up. Additional queens are on the way. And yeah, we're just getting into this. Interesting. Okay, so Nightmare, it's going to be Stargate first into a Void Ray. I did mention before that Nightmare, he's more than willing to go into something like Glaive Adepts, even off of a Stargate opener. So this could be a sign of that, or it could just be a way to just throw some deception out there and really make Cham second guess himself. With this Void Ray, Overlords are going to be hunted down, and it's going to be that much more difficult for Cham to get a read on what's happening. Well, Cham does have 2 Overlords out on the map, and yeah, it's going to be difficult to keep them alive, keep them safe from that Void Ray. As the Void Ray moves out, oh, that's a 3-minute 40 Evo Chamber from Cham. This should be for +1 melee, but we'll see if he kind of techs in a different direction. As the Void Ray is going to be zooming across the map. I believe the Stargate wasn't seen, or I mean, I should say, it was seen. I believe the Void Ray wasn't spotted, so we'll see if Cham can avoid damage here as the Void Ray is going to be zooming across the map. Third base is being taken. Oracle behind this, the Void Ray. We're looking for the Overlords, and it looks like we will come across them. There it is. First Overlord has been found. There's +1 melee on the way. Get a very fast upgrade. This feels a little bit old school. We used to see a lot more fast Evo Chambers and fast +1 melees last season, just because of the +2 timing, the +2 kind of power spike that you can hit in ZVP. That doesn't exist anymore, so yeah, this is a bit more of a rarity here in this matchup to see +1 melee so quickly. As the Overlords are being hunted down. It's going to be the second Overlord falling. Cham, of course, just still focused on saturating his bases. He isn't banking up Lings or anything like that, not yet at least. But with this +1 melee, I imagine he's going to be throwing down a Baneling Nest, not a Roach Warren. We do have a follow-up, Twilight Council, +1 with that Forge. Third base is on the way. So Nightmare, he's playing standard. He's getting into his mid-game, getting into his Stalker production. Cham, likewise, going to be going Ling Bane, skipping Roaches. And here we go. 5 Adepts have arrived. With the help of this Oracle, we're looking for economic damage. We don't commit. We totally can. There's barely any Lings to defend. There's 8 Lings. And 20 more on the way. For now, we're just dealing with all this creep. Keeping Cham in check. Very tentative play here out of Nightmare. He's been very prone, or he just hasn't really been looking to commit to any of these dives. I do think that there was a lot of damage potential earlier on. Oh, as we can catch a Queen. Oh, we do catch the Queen. Couple of tumors as well. Cham sending it across the map, getting ready for a Bane Bust, actually. Oh my god. Roach Warren is thrown down. He's double expanding, taking his 4th and his 5th base at the same time. So Cham, he's investing, he's thinking further ahead, but he should be able to bust into the natural. No! Adept goes down. The wall has been breached. And we go straight for the mineral line. The probes! Probes are exposed. 8, 9 workers go down. And Cham, he breaks into the main base as well. Oh my god. The Banelings, the splits! The splits of the Banelings are just too good, and 26 probes go down. We get a surround of the Stalkers. Blink is done, but Stalkers are falling, and Nightmare is falling apart. He's falling apart here. Cham is getting so much done. He's up 20 workers. He annihilates the economy, cleans up a lot of Stalkers as well. And behind this again, Cham, he wasn't all in. He was double expanding. Baneling speed was on the way. I mean, he's on a lower worker count. This is true. He's still making more Lings. And he's looking to surround this army once again. Or at least trying to... The Blinks are looking good here from Nightmare, but Adepts are going down. A couple of Stalkers are getting low as well. Cham squeezing out a couple of workers wherever he can. Roach production is commencing. Roach speed on the way. Cham does have a follow-up. And Nightmare doesn't have the economy to really sustain a push. He's reprobing. Stuck at home resaturating his bases, and he's giving Cham so much freedom. Or Cham has given himself so much freedom. As he's getting ready for a Ling counterattack. Here we go. +2 melee on the way. So far, Nightmare is doing a good job of keeping up with the Ling harass and now keeping up with the movement of Cham. But behind this, Cham, he isn't really committing as hard. He has drawn up to 57, still cutting workers at a lower worker count. Very low, actually. That's less than 3-base saturation, by the way. But he's just hammering down Lings and Roaches. I'm sure he's hoping that Nightmare pushes, and that's exactly what's happening. Nightmare is pushing, and Cham, he's ready for a fight. And here we go. Cham looking for the surround. The Lings are coming in from behind. Oh! They do crash on in, forcing a blink, catching some of the Stalkers as well. And Cham, he dives right on the army. Roaches are popping off. Oh, my stalkers are going down as well, and it looks like this third base is going to be broken. Cham coming in with, what, a 350 ELO? Like, he has been having a really rough season, but he breaks the third base of Nightmare. Workers are coming in. The boys are being pulled, but they're so low. Every worker is going down. Once again, Cham just doing such a blow here to the economy of Nightmare. And he's not stopping. He's not slowing down. He's catching the Stalker army. Getting a kill on that Nexus. And now he can go for the natural. GG gets called. Cham will take game number 1. Ah. GG, Papi. GG. Oh no, someone get him some water. He's running out. But Cham will take game 1 here. And yeah, really impressive stuff. Very, very impressive. Again, a really powerful +1 timing there. Remember, +1 kicked in and he did come in with a Bane bust. Nightmare was in the dark. He did have an Oracle out. He was, of course, harassing with his Adept, if you recall, his Adepts even. But he was forced to back off and he did not see the move out of Cham. Didn't see the army being positioned. On top of that, if you remember, there was opportunity for damage for Nightmare. If you remember, when he first pushed with the Adepts, there were 8 Lings to defend, and Cham wasn't really ready for it. But Nightmare was unwilling to dive into a mineral line. He was just cleaning up creep. He was just poking on the edge of creep, and he in a way allowed Cham to be a little bit greedy and, you know, get away with not quite being caught with his pants down. He was able to get his Lings out, go for a counterattack, and yeah, really well done. Really well executed by Cham. Nightmare just unable to get a read on what was happening, unable to keep up. I don't think he saw the fast Evo chamber. I don't think he saw the fast pulse on melee. And now we're getting to game number 2. Here we go. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. We're getting into that second game, and yeah, it is going to be Oceanborn as the map of choice for Nightmare. Here we go. And on a map like Oceanborn, you can get a secure 3-base setup, and you can also be quite aggressive as well. The rush distance by ground is a little bit shorter, much more straightforward here on this map. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have for Matcherino Esports, Nightmare. And in the top left for Starlight Twinkle, we have Cham. And it's throwing me off that Cham is red and Nightmare is blue. which does not correspond with their logo colors. I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head. But yeah, here we go. my brain had to do some work here for the intros, okay? Had to do some work. But for now, we're getting into our openers. Hatch Gas Pool here from Cham. What looks to be a Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch first here at the Unnatural Natural. Nightmare just forcing some inefficiency here out of Cham. Back at home, should be going for his own gate expand. Nothing too wild. Nothing too crazy. But I did notice this as well. Cham has a very unique way of opening. He goes for a Hatch Pool Gas. He did the same thing last game as well, and I believe it led into slightly faster Queen production. I think he delayed his Lings early on, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. But yeah, just a slight deviation from the norm here for Cham. Nothing too wild, though. As usually, you'd go for a faster gas. And we're getting into our openers. Now, because we're on Oceanborn, I expect Nightmare to be more aggressive. I expect him to be more in the face of Cham. I mentioned it in the last game, and I was a little bit surprised when Nightmare went for a Void Ray opener and didn't really do much with it. Which, I mean, it happens, right? You go for a Void Ray just to incept your opponent and just to kind of like play with expectations. But it was just a Void Ray opener into a third base, into a Forge, and a Twilight Council +1 and Blink. Like, everything was normal. Everything was hitting at a bit of a later timing. And against Cham, like, that's a really risky thing to do. I feel like Cham, he thrives when his opponent plays Standard. If his opponent is playing Standard, then Cham, he can get away with a lot of greed or get away with a lot of just cheeky builds. If his opponent is aggressive, then I do feel like that's where Cham can struggle because his own builds and his own aggression get disrupted, and Cham can maybe have a harder time, especially if his opponent has an economic lead leading into the mid game. So we'll see if Nightmare is a little bit more assertive. This time we do have another another Stargate opener out of Nightmare. 2 games in a row so far. Remember, last game we went for a Void Ray. I would love to see a Void Ray first into a Twilight Council this time, just to play with expectations, and there it is. Void Ray is on the way. So the goal of this Void Ray is to deny Overlords and deny scouting. We saw in the last game that he denied scouting, but he wasn't doing anything crazy with it. It was just playing standard. This time, I expect him to throw down a faster Twilight Council. I expect him to actually be aggressive and do something with this, but we'll see. As for now, Adepts are still just going to be shading across the map. Oh, and they deny a lot of mining time here at the natural. Oh my god. They get 2 lings and do delay quite a lot of mining. It's going to be Void Ray into the Oracle. Void Ray going to be moving out, looking for some more Overlord kills. Cham going for a slightly later Evo Chamber. That was around a 355 Evo Chamber timing from Cham. Should be for fast +1 melee again. As there's our 3rd base on the way for Nightmare. And are we going to throw down a Forge? That's what I'm really looking at here from our Protoss. Do we throw down a Forge? Do we work on upgrades? There's the Twilight Council. Gas is being taken. And the longer Nightmare goes without a Forge, the higher chances this is of being Glaive Adepts. We shall see as now the Forge is thrown down. Once again, Nightmare going for a standard opener. Okay. Should be +1 in Blink, could be +1 in Charge, but yeah, so far it's almost a mirror of the last game where Cham is going Ling Bane, is going to have a faster +1 timing, and Nightmare's focusing on his economy and focusing on the mid game. Now, he does have a couple of Adepts that are being active on the map, and they can always threaten a mineral line and maybe get some drone kills. They weren't able to in game 1, but we'll see if we have a little bit more success here in game number 2. Once again, just really careful play out of Nightmare. Doesn't want to throw anything away. He shaves off some lings and gets the hell out of there. Behind this, lings are amassing for Cham. He's showing up to 56 again, just sub 3 base saturation. Basically 3 bases without the gas geysers. And Cham, he's doing it again, 2 games in a row. He's just amassing lings. Roach Horn's on the way behind this, and he should be going for a bit of Baneling aggression across the map. And can Nightmare keep up? So far, he misses the lings. Oh. A Void Ray does spot them, though. We ignore the Void Ray. We go straight for the natural base for the 3rd even. But so far, we find no damage. Instead, Cham is looking to surround these Adepts. The Adepts, even if they commit to the shade, they will be dealt with, and they commit. Lings are lying in wait, and they will be shut down. I believe 1 Adept will escape. Behind this, Cham, he still hasn't droned, by the way. He's squeezing out a couple of workers. There's 3 drones in production, but he's still just amassing more lings, roaches as well. Now, the biggest difference, this time Cham hasn't dealt any economic damage. Nightmare's in a better position. Nightmare, he's on 3 bases, he's ahead in the economy, he's getting into railroad production, +1 and Blink are done. So, same playstyle out of Cham, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult for him to really gain momentum here. I mentioned before that Oceanborn is a really good map to secure yourself on 3 bases. Your 3 base setup is just very safe, and it's very difficult to really punish it. The 4th is a different story. Taking your 4th base is a lot more difficult because it's on the low ground, whether it's the center 4th or the linear 4th. But in saying that, Nightmare, he's just going to be taking up. +2 on the way. Robotics Bay, Gateways as well. And I do favor Nightmare if the game goes on. He's just getting into his comfort zone. Now, if he attacks, that's when I'm going to be concerned, because Cham has a pretty big army. He's got a lot to work with. Spire is thrown down. Cham droning a little bit heavier here, taking up into an infestation pit. He's thinking about Hive. He's thinking about Mutas. He gets scouted. Hallucinations come in. They do get eyes on the Spire. Mentally, at least, Nightmare is going to be ready for those Mutas. Dives in, gets a queen. Not bad. As Cham is going to dive on these Stalkers as well. He catches a couple of them. Not bad. A couple of Stalkers are going down. Cham is just making nothing but links, by the way. 44 links in production. Gets on top of some more of these Stalkers. A lot of them are bleeding out. Expensive losses for Nightmare. Now again, Nightmare, he is up to a decent worker count. 3-way saturation. Still no fourth. Surprisingly, still no fourth base. Lings once again coming from behind. Oh my god, and Nightmare, he gets completely surrounded. A massive pick up here once again from Cham. Colossi are on the way, but by the time they come out, it's too late. There's barely an army, and Cham, he's doing it again. He finds the army. The force fields are going to keep this Colossus alive just barely. But only for a couple more seconds, as it will go down, and Cham, he's just barreling down this third base. The Colossus still lives. Oh my god. That overcharge. That's crazy. That overcharge just barely kept it alive. Cham, he wants the Colossus so badly, he's not going to get it. Oh my god. A big commitment there from Cham, and there now comes the second Colossus, and Nightmare holds. Nightmare barely holds on. If that Colossus had gone down, that would have been it. But really good control out of Nightmare, really good positioning. And Cham has to back off. He is still ahead in economy, still has those 80 workers, but Nightmare, he pulls off a miracle defense. Even feeling confident enough to counterattack and push onto creep, which is wild. And Cham has to double down. Thankfully, there we go. +1 air attack is on the way. Vipers, the Hive is done. Adrenal. Cham, he's not tunnel visioning. He is thinking further ahead. He's teching up. And he should be maxed out soon. He should be pushing soon. Oh, Banelings are caught out though. It looks like Cham is most likely going to wait for his Vipers, which means by the time he's ready for his next attack, Nightmare should be up to around 150 supply. Should have a couple of extra Warpins available. Nightmare still stuck on 3 bases, still hasn't taken a 4th. Cham, he's just amassing his Lingbane Road Ravager army. He is maxed out, gathering energy on those Vipers. Once they're ready, we can finally deal with those Colossi. They've been a thorn in Cham's side this entire game. Like, I still can't believe that one Colossus lived. But Vipers, they are kind of, in a way, the anti-Colossi, the anti-Robo unit. Void Ray could potentially shut them down. There we go. We do focus on the Viper. Up. Can we abduct in time? We get 1. We get 2. We're going to get all 4. The abductions do complete. 1 Colossus lives, but there's just too many roaches, too many banelings. We crash on forward. Can we get the last Colossus? So far, the juggling's pretty good. Wow, a Nightmare, he holds. The concave is insane. And once again, with 1 Colossus remaining, he does hold on. And Cham lost his Vipers. He has to rebuild. He has to rebuild his Vipers from scratch. Remaxing once again. Cham, I would say that he traded well. Bleeded out a lot of roaches towards the end, but he's diving in. He's diving on top of this. Oh my god. He's diving on this once again. Fighting off a creep is always brutal, though. Good kiting here from Nightmare, but it's a numbers game. He barely has an army remaining. The Colossus! No! It isn't saved. It isn't juggled. It floats up to the surface. Not like this, and it looks like Cham has finally done it. Overcharges pop, but the shield battery's exposed, and it should be going down. And I can't believe my eyes. Cham 1-1. I could believe that. I was like, no, yeah, okay, he can take a game off of Nightmare 100%. Of course he can. A 2-0? No shot. Oh my god. El Chamaco, papi. He's back. Back with a vengeance. El Champion. He's warming up here for tonight for ESL Masters. For ESL Masters Americas. As he's just powering on through. The good control here from Nightmare, blinking back to the high ground. But that will still expose his natural base. And Cham should have enough to break this. Should have enough to clean up this mineral line and go to town on these Stalkers. Again, Nightmare, he's microing his heart out. He's blinking as hard as he can. But GG gets called and Cham! Oh my god. Oh! Put the phone down. What did that mean? I don't know. GG, well played. Cham does take the 2-0. GG, papi, GG. Oh my god. Time to hang up? I don't... leaving you on red. As just like that, we are tied up 2-2, and this is terrifying. It's gonna come down to our next best of 2 here, Arcfire versus Wayne. And Wayne is the ace player of Starlight Twinkle. And there is a very high chance here that Starlight Twinkle, they can take the series. Like, they can pop off. Oh my god. Again, GG, well played. Big shout out to Cham here, taking the 2-0 in the end, taking the win out of off of Nightmare, which is a massive upset as well. Nightmare was the clear favorite, but not tonight, Papi. Not tonight. You called the wrong number. As I need a moment. We're going to be taking a small break here. A small break. When we return, we will have our final best of 2 of this best of 7, Arcfire versus Wayne. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have a couple of updates. Some good, some bad, some questionable. So if you're in the chats, I did just let everyone know that I was congratulating Cham El Chamaco. I was congratulating him on Discord, and he did let us. I think the first thing he said, I won without sleeping. What a chat. Praising himself a little bit, but yeah, Cham, he apparently didn't sleep at all last night, so he just came in without resting and was able to take a 2-0 of Nightmare. Maybe he should just not sleep before a game. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. But best of luck to Cham. He's gonna be playing in ESL Masters later on tonight. ESL Masters Americas in like 6 or so hours. He hasn't. I was like, Papi, get some sleep, and he hasn't responded to me. So either he has fallen asleep at his chair, at his desk, or he's gonna stay up. We'll see. I hope he does get some rest before his matches tonight, though. He's gonna be playing against Scarlet. He's gonna be playing against Scarlet in ESL Masters Winter. The other news that we have is that this is an extended break. I don't know if you noticed, but this is not normal. Usually, if there's a break like this, it's because they're setting up the lobby or because a player is missing. And we have confirmation. Unfortunately, there is a forfeit. There is going to be a forfeit. I think they may try to substitute. No, there we go. It's just been updated. Arrowfire is going to be forfeiting against Wayne. Unfortunately, he is unavailable. Unfortunately, something has come up, and yeah, there we go. He is going to be forfeiting instead. I believe some issues did come up regarding his studies and his school, and I believe he's just unavailable. It happens, especially in an online event like this. Sometimes something pops up and Arrowfire cannot compete, which means by default Starlight Twinkle will take the series. Wayne gets the default 2-0, and Starlight Twinkle do come out on top. A little bit bittersweet. I would have loved to have seen them face off. I do think that Wayne was the favorite player, and a 2-0 was more likely than not. I do think Wayne was coming in as a heavy favorite. I would have loved to have seen a best of 2 between them, and maybe next time. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. For now, we're going to be going back to the break here. Back to the break. When we return, we have one more best of 7. It's going to be Psystorm Gaming versus Mystery Gaming in a couple of minutes. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that break. Again, I apologize for the previous series being a little bit shorter than we would have liked, but we have returned with our second and our final best of 7 of the broadcast. It is going to be Mystery Gaming versus Mystery Gaming versus Storm Gaming. Oh my god. And up first, we have quite a matchup. We have Shin versus Spirit. And it looks like, once again, this is a little bit pre-recorded here. We're just diving on in to our first visit too. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have for Mystery Gaming, it is Shin. And in the top right, we have his opponent for Storm Gaming, Spirit. Just checking. Yeah, it makes sense. Fun fact for those who may not be aware, ESL Masters is this weekend. Is actually starting today. Actually started yesterday, to be fair. And there is a lot of overlapping matches. Spirit is going to be the first player for ESL Europe. So it makes sense for him to pre-record this match just in case the previous series did go on a little bit longer. So yeah, just making sure that there's no scheduling issues here, which is why we are going to be casting this via replays. As Shin, he's going for the gold. Also, as he goes for the gold base, I apologize, I didn't see this earlier. I don't look too much at chats mid-game. But a big shout out to Thriving GG. Big shout out to Thriving GG. Thank you so much for the raid during the previous series. Thank you. We do appreciate it. I apologize for not giving you a proper shout out earlier, but I just in the midst of the game and in the midst of the casting, it was Cham winning, Bobby. Cham was I had to focus on Cham. But I do appreciate it. Thank you. Big shout out to Thriving GG. And he's a fellow Zurich player. He's a fellow streamer as well. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. And welcome, everyone. Welcome to the WTL, to World Team League. For now, again, Shin, he is going for a very aggressive build. When we expand, when we take the goal base so quickly like this, we're not getting into a longer game. This should be leading into an all-in, and it's going to be on Spirit to try to scout this and to try and punish this as well. Let's see if he can. As we do have the main art of drones over towards that goal base. Spawning pools finishing up. Lings are on the way. Queens as well soon thereafter. And Spirit is going for a standard Rax expand. If Spirit had been going for a double Rax opener, he would have a massive advantage here. As Shin would have a really hard time keeping up. But of course, Shin, he's scattered with his Overlord. He's aware of how safe he is. And he should be able to keep up here with the first Reaper. As, I mean, Spirit, he's still not fully aware of what's going on. Still not aware. Factory on the way. Orbital's being taken. Ling's going to be moving out. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Spirit didn't go for an SCV scout. So a little bit unfortunate. Very risky as well because, again, Shin, he is known for his aggression. He's known for not being the most standard player here. So Spirit taking a big risk by keeping his Reaper back at home and not scouting anything. Oh my god. Spirit has no idea. He's going for a 3cc. He's going for an economic opener. And again, like, he just won't be able to get a read, punish, or even scout his opponent for quite some time until the Hellions come out. As for now, yeah, Shin, he's getting away with this. He's spreading his creep. He's droning up, getting a massive economic lead. Now, when it comes to his aggression, now that we're getting saturated, I was curious if we were going to throw down a Baneliness or a Roach Warren. There we go, 3 minute 20 Roach Warren. We are getting into a Roach Rush. Very fast Warren there from Shin. And this is what I spoke about. Like, typically when you take this goal base, it is to just get into aggression as quickly as possible. Oh, the Reaper. Reaper is going to be shut down. Ooh, does get picked off. Spirit still hasn't scattered across the map. He does see the creep in there. That's a tell. Creep should not be this far out unless the goal base has been taken. We're getting into a 3cc 111. Banshee production on the way. This is ideal against a Roach Rush. We will have these Banshees out in time to deal with those Roaches as they come across the map. And for now, Shinny's droning. He's actually working towards a lair. I mean, he scouted. Like, Shin, he did scout the tech lab on that starport. He's fully aware of Banshees that are on the way. I'm very curious what the plan is here for Shin. He's taken a couple of gases, only 2 gases though. I imagine this is going to be for Roach speed, but we'll see what's going to be done. Spores are being thrown down as we speak. Just to make sure that our bases are safe here against the Banshees. Likewise, Shin, he also saw the timing of the third CC, so he knows it's an economic opener. He knows his opponent isn't being too aggressive. The push is coming, and we'll see if Shin can keep up. Again, he's got all the information he needs. Roaches are coming out just in time, and it's going to be on Shin to try to keep up with the movement here of Spirit. The downside is that the creep is not connecting the bases. Not yet. Feels like we have missed a couple of those tumors. As a result, we haven't quite made it to the natural. Banshee getting some extra damage done. Lair has finished. Oh, there we go. The Overseer gets here just in time to shut down that Banshee. Now, Shin did make a wave of Lings, but he's still droning behind this. So I'm getting some mixed signals. I'm not fully aware if Shin wants to all in or not. He is pushing, don't get me wrong. But he did make an extra wave of workers. There we go. Fourth base is on the way. And we are looking to threaten that third base. What do we have at home to defend? We still have only Hellions and Marines. Uh-oh. Oh my god, we're looking for a surround. And we do catch some of those Hellions. Good control so far. Spirit does pull away the boys. They have to be pulled. The boys are evacuated from the third base, but that's going to be a kill on every single Hellion. The Roaches have arrived. The Queens as well. We do have a lot of Marines. Tank comes out just in time. And we should be able to hold on. Biles, they do take down the depot in the end. Could be rebuilt. Ravagers are on the way. And Shinny's droning. Like, he doesn't have to commit. He doesn't have to break the natural. He's droning behind this. He's getting further and further ahead. His Roach Ravager timing was strong. And from here, he just has to contain. Just has to delay the expansion for as long as possible. Yeah, the Queens are waddling back home. The eBays are a little bit exposed, but Spirit is going to be able to repair and keep them alive for now. Oh, the contamination! You love to see it. Contamination on armor. Gonna slow it down. Unfortunately, not on attack. But regardless, from here, Shin, he's drawn up to, what, 60 plus workers, soon to be 70. Infestation bits on the way for a hive tech for even safety infestors for fungal growth. Like, Shin, he's sitting pretty. And Spirit is stuck at home. He lost his Banshee. He still has one additional Banshee, but he lost his Hellions as well. He is going for a drop across time, and he needs to. He needs to drop. He needs to do. He needs to assert some pressure here to Shin. And we'll see what he can get done. Gonna try and slow down some of this creep. But the army's in position. The drop is deflected. Bailey Ness is on the way, so we can see that Shin, he's going to be diversifying his army, getting into Lingbane Roach Ravager, working towards that hive as well. There it is, safety infestors are on the way. We do catch two Queens. Very nicely done. Oh god! As we also bleed out a couple of Marines, but the Queen count wasn't high to begin with, so yeah, killing any Queens does slow down the creep. Oh. The Wilds. Don't quite connect it with the drops. But again, behind this, Shin, he's on the cusp of maxing out Hive, almost done at this point, to get into Adrenal and even Vipers. Vipers are going to be the big power spike here for Shin. Once he gets the Vipers out, he can, of course, Blinding Cloud the tanks and push into the third base again for a second time. The tank line is the only thing keeping Spirits alive and keeping him in this. Oh, we're actually getting into Ultras. Okay. Working towards an Ultra-based army. It's very hit and miss. Another Queens! Not again! We do land a Fungal, but we don't quite catch the Marines. So the Medivacs will escape. There it is. Vipers are in production. Shin has finally drawn up to 81. If you, the one criticism here for Shin is that he could have drawn up to 80 a lot sooner. Much sooner. Could have been a lot more greedier. But alas, he has been very tentative and been very careful about just droning up too much and making sure he has an army. I don't blame him. I do feel like he probably expected an earlier move out from Spirit. And now he is pushing Spirit. He has a pretty comparable army. Oh, a lane run by those, catching that third base, forcing Spirit to turn back around. He's going to slow down that push, giving Shin more time to remax. Double drop into the natural base. Push is being cleaned up. Drones are going down. Pretty good damage dealt here to Shin. I believe the Ultra Cavernous and Swatted drop coming in once again. Do we have the vials? We do. We do notice Spirit is looking. He does pull away, and here comes the main army. Shin is out of position, by the way. He dragged his entire army back home to defend. The Infestors! No! Oh, one Infestor goes down. There's only one left. Oh my god, barely does escape. But again, Spirit, he may be on 3 bases, but he's taking a 4th behind this. He's maxed out. The drops are still forcing Shin to keep supply back at home. Yeah, we have the scan. Does reveal the lack of army. Vipers are finally on the way. Oh no! As the drop is cleaned up. And here we go, we're pushing in. Only from one angle. Do we have enough though? Decent Blinding Clouds, and it looks like, yeah, the Blinding Clouds will cover most of the tanks. At the same time, a massive link counterattack. We take down 11 ACVs and we go for the Planetary. Can we bring down the Planetary? It's going to be close. It's going to be very close, and it looks like it barely will go down. GG gets called. Spirit is going to be broken, and Shin takes game number 1. Whew. Getting away with the gold base, completely uncontested. A free gold from Shin, and he snowballed out of control. Because of that gold base, he was able to hit that much harder and faster with his Roach push, and he was able to take control of Spirit's third, contain him, and get ahead. And even though Spirit was able to max out, we saw that, sure, he was maxed, but with a Marine tank army against Vipers, against Hive Tech, Ultras as well. And here we go in the bottom right-hand corner for Mystery Gaming, Shin. In the top left, for Psystorm Gaming, we have Spirit. And what I mean by going up against Hive Tech, basically Spirit, he had a mid-tier army. He had Marines, a couple of Marauders and tanks, and against Vipers and Ultras and all these spellcasters, we did need something more there, whether it's Liberators or Ghosts. I mean, I say that, basically we needed to tech up even further. We needed a better economy, you know, it would lead into a longer game. But because Spirit was so behind, he had to push out then and there, and yeah, it just was an uphill battle for Spirit, just because Shin got away with so much early on. Meanwhile, we have the Spirit special. It is a CC first. Spirit, he is well known for this. For those that maybe don't watch a lot of Spirit, in TVZ, something that he has a bit of a reputation for is how greedy he can be against Zerg. And CC first, this is a little bit iconic to Spirit. He's probably the pro player that does this most often than any other Terran out there in the world. Some players mix it in every now and then. Like we've seen, I want to say Bjorn. Is going CC first before. Kior, definitely, he's done it before. But they mix it in like every now and then, like once every couple of series, whereas Spirit does it once every series. It's crazy, Bobby, crazy. And he should be able to get away with it. Oh my god, as Shin, likewise, going for he's going gasless. Let's go. So the greedy openers make a lot of sense here on Golden Aura. Both players are cutting corners. Both players are just cutting as many corners as they can. And Dark has been a bit of a pioneer on Golden Aura. The reason for this, if you're familiar with the previous map pool on Neo Humanity, because the base was so defensible, very often, more often than not, Zerg players would cut gases and actually just go straight to a third base, defend with only queens, essentially, because it was so difficult for Hellions to get any damage done, because there are so few attack paths, and because the attack paths that are available are so narrow, it's so difficult for Hellions to really threaten the bases, so you don't need link speed. You don't need earlier gases. Now, this playstyle from Shin should lead into roaches as well later on. Because we're skipping link speed, may as well just avoid it entirely and get into roach production once we get up to 2 base saturation, once we get 2 gases up and running. So Shin, he's just droning. As I was mentioning before, he should only be defending with queens, and there's that roach warren on the way. This roach warren is a little bit earlier than normal. So very interesting here. I'm curious if Shin plans on pushing anytime soon, as he is up against a 3cc build. So again, usually we would delay this roach warren a little bit further and just be a little bit greedier, but Shin, he's trying to take a safer approach, as we are just saturating our bases. Again, for those wondering, on Golden Ore, what I was alluding to is because the entry towards the natural and the third base, because they're so narrow, you can't get away with just queens. Just queens to defend. As long as your movement and your positioning is on point, you can get away with it. It can be difficult, definitely, especially at lower levels, or even at higher levels. You can see some Terran players still try to pull apart the Zerg defense, but it's just so much more difficult on this map. Here we go. We do have 3cc Banshee from Spirit. Very similar to the previous game, outside of course, the CC first. And we are just getting into the swing of things. Again, Shin making roaches really early on. This is a little bit unnecessary. To me, this tells me that Shin is just a little bit scared and just trying to be really safe. In being safe, he isn't cutting as many corners as he otherwise could. Lair has been spotted. 4-minute 20 lair timing, or 4-minute-ish lair timing. Pretty solid here to get to roach speed. Hellions are looking for a dive. But they do run into this army. And something that I did just notice here, as we do get a couple of drones, not too bad. Something I do notice is that Shin actually cut queens. I guess that's why he went into a fast roach warren, because he didn't go up to 8 queens. I think he's got like 4 instead, which is surprising to me, especially against a Banshee-based opener. So yeah, because that we don't have as many queens, which does now make sense why we got into faster roaches if we're staying on a light queen count. There we go. We're now getting into additional queens here as the game progresses. Third base is getting saturated. And oh, here we go. We have taken extra gases and we have a Spire on the way. Bold move here from Shin. Bold move. Spire's on the way, 4 mutas. Likewise, Spirit is building himself up on 3 bases. We have 4 more Raxes in production. I think that's around 6 in total for now. 5 or 6. There's Baneley Nest as well, so Ling Bane Muta. Yeah, really interesting tech path here. So the reason why I say it's really interesting for Shin is because he opened up roaches, he skipped link speed, but because he's going into mutas, it's like a really like hard shift here in tech, which means he has to go back into link speed, and he's not investing into roaches at all. No roach speed, no plus on range, nothing. So yes, Shin is trying to catch Spirit completely off guard. Like, the last thing Spirit expects in this game state is mutas. Here we go, the Banshees, they do threaten the bases. So the Observer's just pointing out that we haven't scattered all of these gases, and we haven't scattered the tech. Again, so far, everything that Spirit has seen is leading into a heavy Roach Ravager based composition, just like game 1. And Shin, he's playing with the series, he's playing with his opponent. Mutas are now on the way. Oh, Queens are getting caught out. But this is worth it for Shin. He loses a Queen, that's true. He didn't kill a Banshee, but he weakened them, and this is going to deter them from going in for a deeper scout. They're just on the edges of creep. They catch a couple of Lings. Mutas have popped out, and they're on the way. And there's nothing at home. I mean, there are Marines, don't get me wrong, Marines with stim, but no missile turrets, so SCVs are vulnerable. And there we go, the Marines. Sorry, the Mutas, they have revealed themselves. They force out a stim. Stim doesn't quite catch a Muta. Turrets are now on the way, and we go straight for the main base. Oh, the turret finishes just in time. Oh my god. Such fast reactions here out of Spirits. He still loses a couple of SCVs, but again, really nice reactions. As these mutas have not paid for themselves. Only 3 worker kills, and I think that was for like 1 or 2 mutas. Oh, as Shin is even supply blocked. Uh-oh. And here comes the push. Shin, he's trying to slow it down, maybe even baiting out another stim. That would be ideal. There it is. Do we get the stim? Does take down the Overseer. Shin rotating around trying to catch reinforcements. Because he went Muta, this also means that his upgrades are delayed. He doesn't have 1-1. He's on 0-0. Here comes the army of Spirit pushing towards the 4th base. And it's being evacuated. Shin, he cannot keep up. Not like this. 1-1 is 10 seconds away. I believe Bailing Speed should be finishing up as well. Ah, the missed rally. Mutas are getting caught out.
你的基地遭到攻击，
And this Mutafloat just hasn't done anything across the map. It delays reinforcements, I guess, but the base did fall. You can see Shin, he wants to collapse on this army. He gets a no! He gets a couple of Marines, but he loses the Muta. Doesn't get the tank. Oh, he's taking the he's crazy. He's taking the gold. Which is spotted by Spirit. He has topped up his Banshees. He's gonna shut it down. Does force a cancel. I'm hoping that that was a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, there it is. Dead hatchery there for Shin. Spirit just forcing his way into the natural. He shuts down the Roach Warren. The Mutas, they're designed to pick off reinforcements. They're designed to pick off workers as well. They have done neither. Here we go. Shin, he has maxed out. He collapses on the army. He goes for a full surround. Or he tries to come in first round. Does get the tanks. Barely gets every single tank. But does he have enough? The Marines, they stim forward. No Bailings are left. No Bailings. Reinforcements are on the way. Shin, can he hold on here as he cannot engage with the army? Yeah, the Marines, they stim on forward into the natural base. Reinforcements are on the way. Spirit, he's snowballing out of control. Here come the Bailings. But the split is too good. The spread is too good. And we're fighting back. I would love an ace match. The Marines, they sudden step back was good target firing on the Mutas. Oh my god. Trading so damn well. Only 3 Mutas remain. Marines, they're just stimming from across the map. They do deny +2 carapace. Evo Chamber went down. +2 melee is under threat as well, and it will not finish. And Spirit, again, he's just outscaling Shin at this point. More Mutas are going down. Not trays that Shin can afford. And GG is going to get called. Spirit will take game number 2. And we're tied up 1-1. Oh, GG. GG, well played. I feel robbed, Poppy. I want an ace match. I want a game 3 between those two. That was a wild series. Here in that second game, Shin was just being a little bit too fancy. I do think he did a good job at hiding the tech. He hid the Spire for the entire time there until the Mutas were across the map. If you remember, the Mutas revealed themselves outside the natural at the 4th base location. And as soon as the Mutas got spotted, bam, immediately missile turrets. Missile turrets were thrown down in the main, on the production, in the natural, at the 3rd base. And it only took a couple of seconds there, but Shin, he took a little bit too long to push towards the natural, towards the main. By the time he did, the turrets were done. And Shin did no damage. He killed 3 SCVs, 3 workers for those Mutas, and he doubled down on Muta production. And the problem is, it isn't just that you're investing into Mutas, it's that you're not investing in your ground army. He was lacking in Evo Chamber upgrades, he was lacking with 1-1 and eventually 2-2. He also started off with Roaches as well. He just was not set up for the counterattack, and GG, well played. We're getting ready for that second series. Looks like once again, no cams here as we dive straight into game 1. In the top right-hand corner for Mystery Gaming, it is Bunny. And in the bottom left, we have for Storm Gaming, it is MaxPax. Now, I mentioned before that Spirit was playing tonight in ESL Masters, and I believe MaxPax is as well. So both Spirit and MaxPax's games have been played via replays. Now, what is a little bit scary and concerning about this is that if this series goes to the ace match, what's concerning is that it's very likely that both Spirit and MaxPax won't be available to actually play in the ace match as well. So they won't be available picks for the players. This has happened before. This happened last week with Clem. Clem wasn't available for Team Liquid, so he couldn't come out. I think Kira came out as the ace player instead. But that is something to bear in mind if the series does go the distance. So far MaxPax being as annoying as possible, tasing away at that wall. Again, MaxPax, the ace player of Storm Gaming, the best Protoss in Europe, coming in as the heavy favorite, looking to take a lead and extend that lead for his team. Bunny, though, he's no slouch. Bunny has been improving over the past couple of weeks. He is, of course, a returning player. Did retire for a little bit, or I say retire, not officially, but he stepped away. He stepped away from the game for quite some time. Recently coming back, and yeah, has been looking good. Has been definitely improving. He's been having some good runs in GSL, good performances over this year, over the past couple of seasons. And we'll see if he can somehow surpass one of the best Protoss in the world, if not the best Protoss. So far, it is going to be a double gas opener into a delayed expansion, so faster factory out of Bunny. A lot more of an aggressive opener from our Terran player. Meanwhile, MaxPax is going for a... Oh my god! MaxPax is going for a Twilight Council opener. That is a hidden armory. We're going for a Hellbat push? No shot. This should be for a Widowmine drop, right? Part of me... Okay, there's a couple of things. Oh, we got in! No shot. Okay, we don't commit to the scouts. We have seen Hellbat all-ins in this matchup from Dolan before, and I think Oliveira as well, but this should be for a mine drop, right? Yeah. My brain just went straight to Hellbats, but this should be for a mine drop. As the Cyclone is on the way to help defend, this should be leading into Widowmines as well. It's going to be wild if he starts up anything else. This is when we go like full Euthermal. We go full if Euthermal was here, we'd see like a Thor drop. There it is. Drilling Claws. We're doubling down even. It's not just an armory drop. Okay, we have Drilling Claws as well. This is wild. So Bunny, he's not just doubling down on this mine drop. He is tripling down on the mine drop. This needs to get damage done. We're going to need detection, and we're going to need very fast reactions here from MaxPax to keep his mineral line alive. And we'll see if Bunny can pull this off. Now, because we're committing so hard to this, there are going to be multiple drops. We're going to be seeing 3, 4 mine drops coming out. Just to keep this going. At least we should. We should see multiple mine drops. And so far, MaxPax, he is in the dark. He hasn't been able to scout the main base. He's going for his own blink, of course. Was a Twilight Council. I did miss the gateway count. I want to say that we're on 3 gates. But we could be on 4. If we're on 4 gates, then Bunny's in trouble. Because Bunny will not have a lot to defend. He will have 0 tanks. 0 tanks to defend against the Blink Stalkers. But again, I'm unawares as to how many gateways were thrown down. I still want to say 3, but we shall see. We got 1 gateway in the main. I think we have 2 gateways at the natural, so 3 in total. Reaper will fall. We dive in with the mine drop. Up. Oh my god, they burrow so quickly. Oh my god. 8 workers go down. The quick burrows, Papi. Medevac is going to be shut down. We burrow just in time as well. And yeah, it was 3-gate blink, which is not as aggressive, but detection arrives. Wow, we get the observer just in time. 8 worker kills is good, don't get me wrong. But unlucky that there just happens to already be an observer ready for this. And Bunny, he's coming in with another drop. And there's a third medevac as well. So here we go. We're pushing towards that natural base. MaxPax with a 3-gate blink. He does have enough to assert himself and be aggressive. He shouldn't be committing. Oh, as he looks like he did take down the tank. Uh-oh. Mine drop does come in. A couple of worker kills. Not bad. But the tank went down. We go straight for the bunker as well. Mine shot's not looking amazing. And MaxPax is gaining control of the natural. The boys are being pulled. Tank comes out, but the tank is going to be soon out of range. Second tank is on the way. Widow Mines will not reset. But MaxPax is getting so much damage done. He's getting so much damage done to the base itself as well. Ah, gets a medevac. Expensive losses here for Bunny, and I don't think it's been worth it. I don't think the mine drop has been worth it quite yet, especially because MaxPax can make 3 workers at a time. He blinks behind the gas geyser. He can take down more SCVs. He's just hindering the economy of his opponent. Takes down the medevac as well. Bunny's in a lot of trouble. Now, Bunny thankfully has a bunker on the high ground as well, just in case we do blink into the main. And MaxPax is going right for it. Dives onto the main base. We have the bunker, which buys some time, but it still will fall. We get the bunker, we can get a depot. Oof. Good tank bullies. We do punish MaxPax for a moment. Third TC is on the way. Now, worker-wise, MaxPax doesn't actually have the biggest lead. I did assume that he would get even more SCVs at the natural, but he barely didn't. So because of that, the economy is pretty comparable here. I'm curious, though, because... Oh, so we do get into the mineral line. I'm curious, though, because we still don't have a third TC. Okay, there we go. Never mind. Third TC is on the way for Bunny. He's not going for a 2-base solid. He catches the Prism! Big moment. A big moment here for Bunny. He is fighting back. He's down 10 workers, but he has mules. And mate, he has quite a lot of Marines here. Oh, is that tank stuck? I hope not. Here we go. Ah, we saved it. We saved it with the medevac. Vamonos. We are up to 4 tanks. Observer is on top of the natural, so if we do have a move out, MaxPax will see it ahead of time. Bay is done. Colossi are on the way. Looks like we are only moving out to just get in position for the third base. Oh, we do pick off a couple of stalkers. And this push is actually pretty terrifying. There is going to be a Colossus, soon to be a second Colossus in time for this, though. For a moment there, I was like, am I blind? Did we cancel the CC? No, it's being landed at the third base. Triangular third. I thought we were going to take the linear third. Taking the forward third base instead. Bunny maintaining his economy. But he is forced to turn back around because of these zealots. Does have to turn back, and yeah, Bunny looks like he wants to hit a later timing instead. He's working on +1. He's going for some drop play. For the most part, he's staying at home, and we're getting into the mid-game. It was a chaotic start with mine drop into, of course, 3-gate blink counterattack. Very chaotic, but we are calming things down. Bunny is moving out with a lot of his army, though. He is keeping a couple units back at home, and there we go. He does come across the Zealot Rambai. He's able to keep up with it. Widowmine's going to be going off. Bunny is going to keep on pushing. I believe he kept most of his tanks back at home. I don't think he's pushing with them. I believe they are being kept here at the... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're being kept at the third base. So Bunny only just applying some light pressure here with his drops. Doesn't have to commit. Yeah, he's got a 4 CC on the way. Working on 2-2. And there's 3 Colossi on top of this ramp. There's no way we can push into this. We're going to try. Yeah. It's not going to happen. Big mine shots here on the Zealots at least. But we have detection. And we clean up the Widow mines. Oh my god. Not just the mines, also some of these Marines and Marauders. But here comes the push. This time with tanks. +1 is lined up with this. Oh, and the Colossi are going to be stuck in a really awkward position. They're behind the tanks. The tanks are exposed. 1, 2 of them go down straight away. A really awkward fight here for Bunny, and he's going to be completely cleaned up. The tanks went down, the Medivacs as well. And this was it. Like Bunny, he was building up towards that push. He sees the 4th base. He sees the saturation. And MaxPax is now snowballing out of control. I don't think he intended to catch the army like that. So I don't think MaxPax was like, you know, hoping to get behind it and surround. But it just happened to work out that way. And Bunny, he's lost everything here. He has to pull the boys. One final stand for the Korean Terran. He gets 1 Colossus. But GG gets called. And MaxPax will take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A wild start from Bunny. A wild start. And it wasn't too bad of a start. But it didn't really get him the lead that he wanted. Didn't get him ahead the way that he really was looking for, and MaxPax was able to stabilize, able to do an amazing amount of counter damage with his stalkers. And as things went into the mid game, things were evening up, is what I will say. Things were looking pretty back and forth. Just a very unfortunate push there from Bunny, being caught with his pants down. His tanks were exposed and his army just crumbled, and now we're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkione, we have, for Mystery Gaming, Bunny. And in the bottom left, we have, for Sidestorm Gaming, the ace player. It is MaxPax. MaxPax, he does take a lead for his team. Sidestorm, they need 2 more wins here, and MaxPax, he can take them 1 step closer to that victory. Can Mystery Gaming fight back? Can Bunny put another point on the board and even things up? Oh my god, as he does go for the proxy racks in the natural of MaxPax. I thought it was going to be like an eBay block. When I saw the SCV coming in, I thought we were going to be denying the natural, but no, we go straight for the proxy. Now, this is designed to get economic damage done. We can throw down a bunker on the low ground as well to deny mining, to disrupt the economy, to get ahead. As MaxPax is going to be scouting, he does confirm that the Rax is missing. He also sees both gases being taken. So this is a little bit suspect. But the reality is that in this matchup, you can hide the Rax in your own main. That's why MaxPax is checking. He has to check the main. He has to check his opponent's natural and his opponent's 3rd base as well, because Terran players have been known to just throw down their Raxes back at home. Meanwhile, we have a bunker across the map that is a tell. It's not an eBay block. It's a bunker. Yeah, and MaxPax, he's forced to make a Zealot. He doesn't know where the Rax is, but he is aware that aggression is coming. Again, not all in. Oh, he gets a kill! Ay, that was not supposed to happen. Gets a kill on the SCV. Bunny, a little bit distracted, forced to cancel that bunker, and MaxPax, he can expand. He can take his natural. The Reaper is going to be annoying, though. It is going to delay for as long as we can. But from behind, the probe comes in. We get the Nexus. Ay. This opener hasn't been worth it so far from Bunny. It was supposed to delay the expansion. It was supposed to get probe kills, and so far it's done neither. We killed the Zealots, I guess. Wait, no, not even. I just assumed the Zealot died, and It should finally go down. Oh, never mind. Never mind, as MaxPax does keep the Zealot alive, and yeah, we've traded 1 for 1. Bunny has to float back home and has to lick his wounds. So not at the start that Bunny was hoping for. The Reapers are going to be able to catch this Adept at least. Behind this, we're getting into Cyclones, just to have a secure setup and just to maintain control of the map itself. Good timing on the Shade. Oh my god, able to avoid the Loco and avoid that Cyclone. And behind this is a Stargate opener. Stargate not into Oracles, into Phoenixes. With this Robo follow-up, I imagine this is going to be Phoenix Colossus and not Phoenix Charge. As the Reaper does dive in, is going to be shut down by the Phoenix alongside the Stalker. Getting a really nice cleanup here from MaxPax. Bunny back at home throwing down additional Raxes. He's not going for mech or anything crazy like that. It is just Cyclone play. And again, he's able to at least catch a couple of units here in the center. Not bad. He does have a 3-1-1 setup back at home. Getting into Vikings, and he's already going to be pushing. Or at least, again, vying for map control. MaxPax, no fear, he takes a third. Should be seeing a shield battery momentarily as well. Immortal production has commenced. A safety Immortal here from MaxPax, and we should be seeing a Bay. We should be seeing a Robotics Bay thrown down alongside this. Start working towards Colossi. It would be quite expensive and quite late here if we did throw down a Twilight Council to like transition into charge. And there it is. Robotics Bay is now on the way for MaxPax. So Phoenix Colossus, which again was very trendy and very meta in the last map pool. In this one, we haven't seen it as much. We've been seeing more Phoenix Charge lots or Blink Stalker heavy play. So, yeah, it feels good to be kind of back to what we're used to. I'm sure a lot of Terran players are lamenting this. They're like, oh, great. It's Phoenix Colossus. Let's go. Let's go. But, you know, it's safe. It's secure. It's a really robust way to open up and be safe on 3 bases. Phoenixes get across the map. They're going to get a couple of SCVs without losing anything. Behind this, the first Colossus is on the way, and right now MaxPax is just containing his opponent. That's the power of Phoenix Colossus. The Phoenixes, they give you map control, they contain the opponent, they shut down drop play, and they get eyes on any move out. And the Colossi, they keep you safe against any bio-based pushes. So again, MaxPax is very secure on 3 bases. Mind Shot goes off. Not bad. Doesn't kill anything, but does get a lot of damage done. Meanwhile, Bunny is just building up his forces. We'll see if he decides to... I mean, he's going to be hitting a timing with Stim, Combat Shields, and +1. We'll see if he throws down a 3rd CC or if he pulls the boys. He should be expanding on location as he is moving out. I imagine he's going to throw down a 3rd CC. As my eyes are just glued onto... Oh, let's go! They're glued onto that minimap, and I believe it's just reinforcements on the way. I don't think we've pulled anything quite yet. Yeah. And here we go for the scan. We're pushing in. Boy, Raven is available. So far, we're finding our way up the ramp. Tank does siege. And again, here and now, Bunny has to try to either break the 3rd or break the natural base or trade with the army. As he does push forward. Big tank volley goes off. Shield battery goes down. No overcharge. MaxPax, he's in a bit of trouble. Raven going to be threatening a dive. Oh, it does go down. Gets one disable off. And the boys are being pulled. It looks like Bunny, he has too much. He takes down the Colossus. The other just, it does nothing. It cannot engage. And it looks like Bunny does take down the third base. And Bunny takes game number 2, tying things up. GG. GG, well played again. The fact that the shield battery wasn't able to really impact that game at all, there was no overcharge, the disable was massive. I was really concerned that the Raven was going to die before the disable, but Bunny was so patient. He was so patient with that disable, with that Raven. Actually sent it off very last minute, very last second there, just to get as much time on it as he could. And yeah, really well done. Really well timed push there. Again, I was totally expecting a drone pool, or sorry, an SCV pool with that. Apparently, he didn't even need the SCVs. Did have enough. GG, GG. And now this is a little bit more up in the air. It comes down to this best of 2, a PvP between Strange and Geralt, and this is going to be an interesting one. On paper, Geralt is a more well-rounded player. You know, if I'm talking about the strength of a player like Geralt, I would rate higher than Strange. This is true. But specifically for a PvP, we could see an ace match. And I mentioned before, the worrisome thing about an ace match is that Psystorm Gaming may not have the deepest roster. If we do go 1-1, if we go to game 7, Spirit and MaxPax, they're focusing on ESL matches at the moment. You know, they're focusing on their matches, and they may not be available for it. So this is gonna get really wild, really close, really wild. As yeah, I believe Spirit versus Hero Marine is currently ongoing, and you know, MaxPax is right after that as well. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on Geralt. There's a lot of pressure on Geralt in this best of 2, and also in the eventual potential best of 1 in that ace match. For now, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we come back, we should have our PvP. See you soon. Oh. Oh boy, I hope you took that time to massage your Marines, to stretch your roaches, and all that good stuff, because very little time has passed. Our players are indeed ready to dive into this PvP. Oh, no waiting, not this time. I was a little bit concerned that, you know, we may have to find some time there to find our players, but no, we're just diving right into this. And in the top left hand corner for Mystery Gaming, it is Strange, aka Superman. And in the bottom right, we have, for Psystorm Gaming, Geralt. Here we go. Predictions are open. Predictions are open for a minute or so, so best of luck. Place your bets. Place your bets on how you think this series will progress. That's such a weird stat. Strange hasn't won a single map until last week, where he 2-0 trigger. That's what I mean. Like, again, Strange, he is definitely someone to respect in a PvP. You do have to be careful against him. You do have to, you know, take things for granted. Let's go, Geralt. So, fun fact, Kuro knows this. Kuro knows in the production. Geralt, every single PvP we've casted from Geralt this year, in a series, at some point, he goes for a proxy Stargate. And it looks like he's going right for it, making a beeline for the top right-hand corner of the map. Proxy Stargate should be on the horizon for Geralt. It is what he is known for. It's what he's very fond of in this matchup. Don't know why. There are times where even it doesn't do damage, but like he just doubles down on it. Pylon's going to be thrown down. We'll see if he commits to that Stargate. For now, back at home, getting into his double gate opener. Likewise, so is Strange. Everything is looking as it should. We're still waiting for our kind of units of choices here. As we're waiting for the Cyber Core to finish up. Second pylon, or the pylon in the main, has been missed here, as Strange is being a little bit cheeky, sneaking out that pylon. And there's that proxy Stargate. As we mentioned, this is just well known for Geralt in PvP, every single series. And sometimes every game in a series, proxy Stargate. Non-stop. It isn't all in. It's a way to get ahead economically. It's a way to get economic damage done, and to get ahead in that way. You're not doubling down, and you're not going all in by any means. As Geralt is coming in for a scout, and does confirm that the pylons are all in the main, for the most part. There's an extra pylon in the main base of Geralt. I mean, I guess they are all in the main, in a way, in a main base. Robo's on the way. Let's go. Strange. With that Robo, we have a lot of potential for damage here, for aggression, I should say. We can go for a third gateway and a warp prism. We can start early immortal production as well. We can go in a couple of different directions. Regardless, neither player is expanding, not yet. Commit to the shade, but so far the wall is strong. Shield battery is thrown down in the main base of Strange. He is covering his mineral line. And the pylon in the main of Geralt still has not been scouted. He barely doesn't see. He doesn't see, he does not know. Second shield battery on the way for Strange. And there it is. The Adepts are warped in straight to the main base. Even though there's a shield battery, 2 Adepts, 1-shot workers. As long as you line them up correctly, as long as you control correctly, Geralt is going to lose probes. And because of the shield battery in the main base of Strange, he shouldn't lose any workers to the Oracle. And there we go. Probes are going down one after the other, forcing a recall as well. Oh my god. This is already becoming a bit too much. 5 workers. We're going to get 6. Can we get 7? 6 workers for now. Strange does take an economic lead. Forces the activation of the Pulsar Beam. And with that, Strange now has confirmation that it was a proxy Stargate. You know, it's 100% it was a Stargate. And we have a Prism on the way. Strange, he throws down a third gateway. He's going for a 1 base all-in. 1 base all-in from Strange. Hopefully Geralt doesn't expand. He has the money for it. And I think he may be going for that Nexus one. Really, we should... Yeah, he's going for the expansion. Oh, no. Yeah, he hasn't scouted. Geralt, he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know how committed Strange is. As we're sending it across the map, Geralt, he's expanding. He's working on his economy. He's got an Immortal on the way, thankfully. Geralt, he has his own safety Immortal. That will help. But so far, still hasn't seen the tech. But these Oracles, they should have seen the lack of expansion. So with that, Geralt, he knows more or less what's going on. There we go. Revelation does reveal the Robo. And Geralt, he needs some shield batteries. We've got 1 on the low ground. Is that 1 shield battery enough? Here we go. We're pushing in. The force field. No! We catch 2 Stalkers. 2 of them go down instantly. Almost half the Stalkers here of Geralt gone. Now, Strange is expanding. But he can threaten the natural base. Yeah, he forces a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. And Geralt, he's in a really rough position. This is not going his way. Adepts take shade into the main base. They focus on 3 workers already. Like Geralt, he was already behind in the economy. And now we can threaten the gateways. It's an uphill battle here for Geralt. Again, it all started with the pylon in the main. It continued with Geralt just not really able to confirm what his opponent was doing on 1 base. And Strange, he's just securing himself. He's got Blink on the way, Twilight Council. Natural base, up and running. Strange making 2 workers at a time. He's just getting further and further ahead. And he's getting more probes. We don't even need more probes, but we're getting them anyway. It's 5 workers going down. And Geralt, he's completely all in himself. The turns have tabled. It's all or nothing. Now, Geralt, he has a comparable army supply. It's comparable. He has 2 Immortals. And these 2 Oracles as well. he can make some magic happen. There's a world where if he's able to, I don't know, catch part of this army in a stasis trap, maybe Geralt can take a fight. Back at home, Strange, he's reacting with shield batteries. He's aware of how committed his opponent is. Geralt is throwing down his natural and a bay behind this. Trying to rush into disruptors. That is the way to come back. No, but the Adepts, they get in again for a third time. They get into the main. Immortal drop into the main base of Strange as well. At the same time, Geralt getting ready to push in with his main army. He's hoping to pull Strange apart. Depowers the Robo. I mean, Geralt, he's doing well for himself, but Strange is keeping up. Oh, it's another kill on another pylon. No! We blink on top of the army, the stasis trap goes off, and these Immortals, they're going to town. I mean, Geralt's able to make some magic happen here, but no, he does get trapped. Stalkers are falling at the natural. A couple of things went Geralt's way, but alas, it's still an uphill battle. There's still so much working against him, and the Immortals, they're abandoned. They gotta go down. GG gets called, and Strange will take game number 1. Ooh. And looks like Geralt is gonna need a moment here, and I don't blame him. The pressure is on. Drink the water. The pressure is on here, and yeah, Geralt, he needs to win this game to force the ace match. And I mentioned before that if we do head to the ace match, I'm concerned. I'm concerned for Psystorm if it goes in that way, in that direction. But I get it. I mean, it has to if they want to win this. Meanwhile, Strange needs one more win here to take it all for Mystery Gaming. We have our map of choice, Radizet Station. Okay, let's go here. Makes a lot of sense. Radizet Station, of course, a very defensive map and a way for Geralt to kind of bypass all this early aggression and try to get into a stable economy, a stable mid game, maybe even a stable late game. Clearly, this shows us what Geralt wants out of this PvP. Can Strange deny that? Can Strange somehow break the defenses and kill Geralt or cripple Geralt early on again? Here we go. Meanwhile, when it comes to, I'm also trying to get a read on what else is happening in ESL Masters. Okay, so depending on how fast or how slow this next game is, like Max Fax, he may be available, but here we go in the top right hand corner for Mystery Gaming. It is Strange. And in the bottom left, we have his opponents for Psystorm Gaming. We have Geralt. And again, I shouldn't get too ahead of myself. You know, when it comes to the ace match, Geralt, he needs to win this game to force that. But, you know, we have to deal with what's ahead of us first. And can he take that game? Can he force the ace match? Here and now, the pressure is on. Meanwhile, Strange, he's chilling. He's lying back in his chair. He's staying hydrated. We have gateways being thrown down on the high ground. And Radizet Station is an interesting one. Again, the map itself is very defendable. There are so many bases you can take for free. You can take your, you have a pocket base as your third. You have a fourth base that's also very well defended with a very narrow choke point leading into it. Choke points leading into it even. But do these advantages really help out here in this mirror matchup? Sorry, I was just sneezing. I was just sneezing, but it's okay, it's okay. We're good. As we are getting into this, there is a lot of room to kind of work with and to try to proxy, definitely. Proxies are an option. I'm curious if Geralt does decide to go for another proxy Stargate. It's what he's known for, but it was unsuccessful in that first game. So we'll see if he does kind of divert his attention here in game number 2. But now, 2 gate openers all around, and what are our units of choice going to be? Geralt's going double adept. Oh my god, okay. Geralt, he wants to be the aggressor here with double adept. We could even double down and go for a second wave of adepts behind this as well. A third and fourth, fifth and even sixth adept to get across the map and to get economic damage done. Strange instead going for double stalker, a much more solid composition in a head-to-head fight. Strange will come out on top. He will fight for map control and have units to help defend against something like a proxy Stargate as well. Oh, as both players delay their expansions, both players tech up, we have a Twilight Council of a Strange. It's going to be for Blink, and Geralt is going for a Stargate back at home. Okay. So again, clearly Geralt, he wants to get an economic lead with these adepts and with the eventual oracles as well. Again, that Stargate should be for oracle production. As the adepts threaten his shade, but so far Strange, he keeps up. He shuts down the adepts. And so far he is able to keep up with the movement here of Geralt. Oh, we commit! We do get a probe. And we're able to avert disaster. There was only one Stalker in position. And we will force the shield battery to finish as well. But with Blink on the way, that's a third gateway. Strange is going for a one base all-in. Strange is going for an all-in. A bold move here on Radiz's station. That's a proxy pylon. Potentially a fourth gateway to be thrown down across the map. And Geralt is responding with a safety sentry and a robo as well. I love this from Geralt. He's aware that aggression is coming. With that robo, he gains access to early game immortals. He's still expanding. Oh, can he hold on to it though? I don't think. Yeah, he can't hold on to it. He cancels. He realizes that something is wrong, that his opponent hasn't expanded. And Geralt, he's going to try to hold on to his main. Again, with the completion of this robo, he's going to have an immortal. He should have a shield battery on the high ground. The station trap up! Does catch a couple of probes and a stalker. Not bad. Now, if Strange ever does get high ground vision, he can blink up into the main. And here we go, he's pushing. Should be checking the natural. He sees the lack of expansion. Ooh, probe goes down and the stalkers are being distracted. They do shut down the probe at least. But no high ground vision, and that immortal is going to pop. And with the arrival of that immortal, Strange should be expanding. Good force fields here from Geralt. Throwing down 2 more gateways, getting up to 4 gates. And yeah, Strange, with that Stalker warp in back at home, clearly he wants to expand. I mean, he should be expanding from here. He's going to try and trade, though. Good blinks overall. Popping those shields. Second immortal in production. Strange, can he pull this off so far? He takes down one of the gateways. Going for the other. And he's going to be able to get the second gateway as well. Not too bad. At the same time, Oracle gets across the map. 2 Oracles even, and they wreak havoc. They get 7 worker kills. Oh, Strange taking a big blow to his economy. That's huge, actually. 7 workers going down. Strange, now he can't really afford to expand even if he wanted to. Oh, Geralt supply blocked. A brutal moment for that. I kind of want to give the edge to Geralt at the moment. I feel like he has the stronger army, and I feel like soon, once he gets a War Prism, he's going to be pushing. And he's going in once again, taking down so many probes. Will finally lose one of his oracles, but it's been worth it. That's what, 11 workers for 1 oracle. Geralt with a massive economic lead. And Strange cannot push in. not into 2 immortals, and not let alone 3. I do think this is the best chance for Strange. If Geralt tries to push down, force field the ramp. If we can force field the ramp and slice up the army, then Strange can win a fight. But we are heavily reliant on that. You can see Strange trying to expand, but he's still behind in the economy, still down in workers. Observer comes out, we see the sentry. And yeah, Geralt, he's looking good. Like, sure, he may be down a base, but he can break free. Like, there's no problem here. We can push through. We can see that we're going to be... Yeah, we're going to try and elevator down to the low ground. Yeah, we're dropping the immortals off. We are breaking free, and here we go. How good are the force fields? Decent force fields, but we have the immortals on the low ground. And we can force back the army. Geralt, he has broken through. And now we need to push. We need to send that back. We need to push across the map. Gateway's going to be shut down. Very delicate micro here from Strange. Working through those rocks. It looks like he wants to go for a big backstab. Things are about to get weird. So Strange, he is hoping that Geralt turns around. He needs desperately for Geralt to turn back around. He dives into the pocket base towards the natural. And his goal here is to get some worker damage and recall back home. Probes are falling. For both players, the Oracles, they go to town. As the Stalkers, there's nothing to stop them. They're going to be able to take control of the main. Back at home, Strange is warping in as much as he can. And force fields, they do slow down the army. Yeah, Geralt is being slowed down, but for how much longer? As Strange, he evacuates the natural, goes straight to the main. Likewise, across the map, he does take down the Robo. Dark Shrine is on the way. Dark Shrine is on the way for Geralt. He loses every single worker back at home. He's completely all in. There's no turning back, but he has a Dark Shrine. Nexus is going to fall. I believe we do have detection. How we go for the Dark Shrine? Geralt, he can warp in. He recalls? Oh my... Wait, what? Okay. Geralt, he recalls back home. He's gonna catch some stalkers, but there's no macroing out of this. He's down to 4 probes. Did I say 4? I think he's gonna lose a couple more, actually. Down to 3 workers. Ay, ay, ay. And Strange, he escapes with most of his army. He holds onto the main base. I believe we have an observer. I hope we still have an observer here for Strange. As Geralt is once again pushing out. Oh, the prism. Okay, we're good. Good juggling here from Geralt. The prism is gonna go down. Oh, it does get sniped. No more juggling. We get the Oracle as well. Every loss here is brutal. Geralt, he cannot replace it. Cannot replace this army. The main Nexus went down as well. Now again, Geralt, he does have a decent army size. We do have to be careful. Force fields less than ideal. They do miss. Oracle dives into the main. Safe Strap is denied. Strange is expanding, and now he's looking to hold here on the high ground. Loving the hallucinations. They do soak some damage, and there we go. We dive on an immortal. We're down to 3. We have the concave as well. Strange, he forces back the army. And we can keep pushing. We shut down the Immortals as well, and it looks like Strange, he has done it here for his team, for Mystery Gaming. There will not be an ace match. We were theorizing how that would turn out. GG gets called, and Strange takes the 2-0. GG, well played. Mystery Gaming popping off tonight. Going 1-1 all throughout, and Strange is able to clean it up towards the end. My condolences to Geralt. Geralt, he's an amazing player. I mentioned before that in general, when it comes to how the outlook on these players and how sold they are overall in general, I would rate Geralt quite highly. I would rate Geralt as one of the best in Europe, actually. But specifically in PvP, hey, that is where Strange can really thrive. That's where he can cause some upsets, and Strange gets the 2-0. GG, congratulations to Mystery Gaming. My condolences to Sidestorm Gaming as they do take a loss here. They are still in decent standings, I believe. They're still in decent standings in the overall tournament. So it's not like they're going to be losing anything. But Mystery Gaming, they did need a win. They did need a win here to vie for actually a chance at making it into the playoffs. So a big moment for Mystery Gaming. With that, we have our lineups for tomorrow. Team Liquid versus Kwangdong Freaks, and the Starving Camels versus Dragon Kaiser Gaming. That is going to be tomorrow. Those matches will be taking place tomorrow here on the CranKy Ducklings in less than 24 hours. Oh, that's a new ad. What am I watching? Was that her tail?
I think they're playing with the idea of like the fox demon thingy.
No, yeah, but was the fox demon her hair or her tail?
It looked like her tail, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't seeing things when I saw her tail turn into a fox, okay? Aye. Shout out to Honkai Star, of course, a big sponsor of World Team League. Taido as well. And yeah, with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the night. But there's still plenty of StarCraft going on here. Check out ESL Masters. They are currently live with the European regionals. The Asia regionals just concluded for the night, and plenty of StarCraft still to come. We spoke about it earlier. We were featuring Cham, and Cham still has matches later on here against Scarlet. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you are a part of that. It's going to be a great night of StarCraft. Until then, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks so much for the support. We're going to be live here once again tomorrow with WTL, also with KSL. I was considering co-streaming ESL Americas, ESL Masters Americas, but I feel like I should get sleep before KSL. I don't want to be too tired. And Korean StarCraft League is a little bit earlier in the day on Saturday. So I think we're going to be passing on co-streaming Americas today, but we should be able to cover it tomorrow. Should. Fingers crossed. Until then, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego. Bye.